Welcome back to the John Mendola Show. Let's get to this week's football picks here on the show. The first game we're going to talk about is Lake Lehman, a Wyoming area. Lake Lehman comes off a victory against Montrose. In the meantime, Wyoming area falls to Mid-Valley last week. The Warriors will be at home this week. They're going to try to run the ball with Nick Skursky, but in the meantime, Lake Lehman's got their own running attack. They're playing some physical football. I'm going to take Lake Lehman over Wyoming area this week. We'll move along to Scranton Prep. Is going to take to the road to take on Mid-Valley. Mid-Valley comes off a win. Scranton Prep is 2-0. Coach Dick Donato's got his kids playing pretty good football as well. The Cavaliers, I think, get the victory at Mid-Valley this week. Montrose and Tunkhannock is the next one. Tunkhannock playing a little better. Montrose has struggled the first 2 weeks of the season, and you know, they're going to head down the trip there on 29 to take on the Tigers. I think Tunkhannock gets their first win of the season for Coach Rod Azar. Move along. Carbondale and GAR. This should be a pretty good matchup. GAR comes off a loss. They're 0-2. They've had two tough games. Lakeland on the road, Dunmore at home. Now they get a Carbondale team that was able to get a win last week. But I'll pull slight upset here. I'll say GAR in the sense of, Carbondale has gotten out for a couple of wins, and in the meantime, GAR has struggled a little bit. But I'll take GAR at home over Carbondale. Hazleton area and Delaware Valley this week. Another matchup that should be hard fought. Hazleton's got to make that long trek out. Delaware Valley's 0-2. Hazleton's 0-2. Somebody's got to win. I'm going to take Keith Olsemer and the Warriors at home over Hazleton area. Move along. Myers at Lackawanna Trail. Lackawanna Trail out to a 2-0 start with Coach Steve Jervis. He knows he's going to get a Myers team that's talented. Myers kind of fell apart last week against Old Forge. I think the Mohawks will rebound and get their second win of the year on the road at Lackawanna Trail. North Pocono and Riverside this week. North Pocono doesn't have a win. Riverside doesn't have a win. And I think North Pocono has been a little bit closer, though, to get that win. Greg Nolan, excited about this group in the sense of, hey, he's got a hard-working group of seniors, some sophomores that are really doing some great things. North Pocono is my pick over Riverside this week. Abington Heights and Williamsport. The Comets get a victory. They're 2-0. Williamsport is at home, so of course, the Comets got a big trip to go all the way to Williamsport, but I'm going to take Joe Repshis and the Abington Heights Comets this week over the Millionaires of Williamsport. Wyoming Valley West and Scranton should be one heck of a football game. Whole lot of Jake McCarthy for the Knights of Scranton. In the meantime, Michael Bauer and crew will try and get the job for the Spartans. I think this is going to be a very tight affair. I'm going to take Wyoming Valley West in a close game against Scranton at Scranton Memorial. West Scranton and Dunmore, another great game of the week. The Invaders are playing physical football. Joe Garrick really proud of the effort of these guys. I think Dunmore might have a little too much at home, but I expect this thing to be a very close affair. Again, I'm taking the Bucks of Dunmore. Pittston area, Crestwood. Another good matchup. Pittston struggled the first couple of weeks. Crestwood able to get a victory. They're playing in Mountaintop. And again, I think it's going to be a little tighter than some people may think, but I'll take the Crestwood Comets at home with Greg Myers getting the victory. Moving along, Hanover area at Lakeland. Hanover area feeling a little bit better. They got an opening week win. They played a little bit better against Lackawanna Trail last week. In the meantime, Lakeland starts with a win against GER. They fall to Valley View last week. But I think Lakeland rebounds this week and gets the victory for Coach Jeff Wasilchek. Some Saturday games going on. Berwick at Dallas. I think the Bulldogs roll. Not sure if Dallas is going to score a point again. And again, Dallas has had some tough games. Valley West to start, and then they play Abington Heights, and now they're going to play a Berwick team that's pretty darn good. Nanticoke at Susquehanna. This should be a pretty good affair as well. Nanticoke gets a win last week against Columbia Montour Votech. Susquehanna plays Northwest tough, but doesn't get the victory. Susquehanna's at home. I'll take the Sabres of Susquehanna. Old Forge at Holy Redeemer. I think Old Forge is just way too powerful. Jimmy Strickland for Holy Redeemer, and the crew of Royals are, they're trying to get the ball in the end zone, and Strickland's a heck of an athlete, really does a nice job, but the Blue Devils just have too much power against Holy Redeemer. Wester Wayne and Coughlin, a Saturday night, 7 o'clock game. I'll take the Coughlin Crusaders at home. They're 2-0. Looks like they'll get out to a 3-0 start. Western Wayne is going to struggle a little bit this year, but the Coughlin Crusaders and Paul Cole's done a nice job running the football. Holy Cross will take on Northwest. On Friday night, I'm going to take the Northwest Rangers to go to 3-0. Carl Major back on the sideline for the Rangers. Honesdale at Valley View. This should be a pretty good game on paper. Honesdale falls just short of Wallenpaupack last week. The Cougars bounced back against Lakeland last week. I'll take the Cougars of Valley View this week. In Southern Columbia at Mount Carmel. Always a great affair. That's one of those games that you'd love to see. Mount Carmel is at home. But I'll take Southern Columbia and a squeaker over Mount Carmel this week. Two great coaches, two great programs, and the fans really get into it. Well, we appreciate you watching and listening to the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. That's this week's Football Picks.